broke out into tears. Once I realized she said, "Okay," I cried for like a minute straight. Just about 1 year ago, I was the most depressed that I've ever been in my entire life. And that is because it was when my second girlfriend broke up with me. And today, I'm really going to get into the nitty-gritty of it. I'm going to be completely vulnerable with you guys because I feel like you guys resonate a lot with when I am vulnerable. And I'm going to be telling you things that I haven't even told my closest friends about what really happened when my second girlfriend broke up with me and how I took it and how I should have took it. This story is going to surprise you a lot. And I'm going to tell the story through the 3 stages of a breakup that I have identified. And this is going to apply to men, women, whether you're gay or straight, anybody. This is going to help you get through your breakup. And this is the video that I wish I had when I got broken up with, time to expose myself on the internet once again. So here are the 3 stages of a breakup. Stage 1 is grievance. Stage 2 is acceptance, and stage 3 is metamorphosis. Let's go through these stages. So stage 1, grievance. You are going to have to realize that you are going to be grieving a lot during this stage. It's almost impossible to ignore. And the reason I use this word is because it is like you lost a loved one in your family. You are going to feel this. I remember the few days or about the week after I got broken up with. I was actually pretty okay. I kind of accepted the fact. I even texted her afterwards and was like, "Hey, it didn't really end that well when you did break up with me. So I just want to say I totally understand. It's okay that this happened and it makes a lot of sense. But like all forms of grievance, you go through these different types of substages within the stage of grievance." So shortly after this, it was about the second week after my girlfriend had broken up with me. I started to feel what it felt like to not have her in my life anymore. And it was extremely painful, even though she wanted to remain friends after all this. And she said she didn't regret being in a relationship with me. It was still something I had to live with, the fact that I'm not going to be with this girl anymore. And she's not a part of my life in that way anymore. And that shattered my identity. I had an identity crisis. She felt like she was a part of me, and I felt like I was nothing without her. And this was so unhealthy. I know I have to get this out there to really explain how you might feel and what's going on. So you're going to feel that absence, and that absence is going to bring a lot of pain, and you might even deny why this happened. You might deny that it should have happened. I remember I was in complete denial, even though leading up to the breakup, the few months before that, we definitely weren't the same that we used to be. We did love each other a lot, but our relationship just wasn't really the same. She was working more. I was getting more anxious about it, and I wanted to see her more. And I was focusing less on myself and my work, and I kept telling myself, this isn't right. We're meant to be together. And so I started the fight that I just should not have done, the fight to try to get her back by any sort of means, because of how much I felt like I was nothing without her. We were still texting a little bit. I was trying to text her more than she was trying to text me. Obviously, she needed a break for me at the very least. And I remember I actually met up with her one time. It was, I think, a few weeks after our breakup, and I kind of just came clean to her. I was like crying my eyes out, telling her, "Listen, I get why we broke up, and I understand that you want time away from me to think about this, but I do believe that we're meant to be together. And I just really want you to give me a second chance," and basically begged her. But it gets worse as I'm going to go through this story. And so she said she didn't know yet. We shouldn't have been hanging out regardless or even talking to each other during this time. Only a few weeks after we just broke up. But I was just so in denial. And every single night, pretty much I would cry to myself. I would cry over what I had lost. I would just think of all the memories that I had with her. The pain is going to be inevitable, especially if you were attached to this person. But you need to not try to be friends with them or contact them for a very long time after your breakup. What I really suggest that you do is allow yourself to feel that pain. I tried to reject it so much by, trying to hang out with people, and that helped a little bit. But I just tried any tactic I could to not feel the pain that I was feeling. And I think it's really important that you do allow yourself to feel that, to get a grip on what you're going through, or else you're never really going to be able to overcome it. And it's always going to be some sort of lasting trauma in you. Even if you think you're over them, take this time to really understand the breakup and understand yourself and what you really need, which is not another person. This is something that I could not handle, that I could not deal with, and it got to a really bad point. I started looking up so many videos on YouTube about how to get your girlfriend back, and all of them just flooded my recommended feed. Now, I was super into watching like the no contact rule videos, where if you don't contact your ex for like 30 to 90 days, then it'll be okay, and she'll want to be back with you. And I swear to God, I watched one of these no contact videos every single day just to get some sort of reassurance that one day I would be back with this girl. And so it was a couple months now after we had broken up, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to give it one more push. And if this doesn't work, then that's it. I'm going to stop trying, and I'm finally going to move on. 2 months after we had broken up. I just couldn't accept that fact. But I finally manned up and said, I'm going to do this. But I didn't even really man up because I was going to ask her again a second time to give me a second chance. And so we could get back together. So it was her birthday. I was like, okay, I'm going to get her a little present. I got her like rayon headphones, and I wrote her a very long letter of everything I had done wrong. And in the end of the letter, I say, I understand if you don't want to be with me right now, but I do believe we're meant to be together. Like the same things that I said to you were the first time we met up. And yeah, I ended it with like, P.S. I'll never forget all the times we had, like all stuff like that. I was fighting so hard to get her back, all things that you should absolutely not do after your breakup. And so I met up with her, I gave her the note, and I gave her her little gift, and I talked to her again. I said, I understand the things that I did wrong, but please, I want you to give me a second chance. Please give me a second chance, she said. Okay, and I broke out into tears. Once I realized, she said, okay, I cried for like a minute straight, and I thought that, well, this is it. I'm going to be back with her again one day. I mean, we all know how that turned out. A few weeks passed by, and I ended up meeting with a girl who I met on Tinder, who's now. My friend and I kind of just opened up to her about what I had been going through, and now she's like a really good friend. She helped me a lot with this. She said, dude, she doesn't actually know if she wants to be with you again. She just said that in the moment, because of, what you've been saying and what you've been doing, she doesn't actually know if it is going to end that way. So you need to actually just stop contacting her. You need to actually just stop trying to pursue this because you're the one putting in all the effort, and you need to tell her all this. And I was like, all right, you're right. It wasn't right for her to say, okay, to be with me again one day, even though she doesn't even know that. And